Hi there everyone, time for this month's video update. And first of all, we're coming up to the season of Advent. Advent, as we know, can get very busy as so many preparations are made for Christmas. But one thing that I'd love to encourage people to do is to make sure that they take time each day just to focus on God, to pray, to meditate for a few minutes, and to remember the reason for the season, Jesus. And at our Advent bookstore, our Christmas bookstore, we've got a number of different Advent devotionals which can help us to do just that. If you feel that your relationship with God is stuttering a little bit at the moment or struggling a little bit at the moment, Advent is a great time actually just to give it a bit of a kickstart. And using one of these sorts of devotionals could be just perfect for you. We've got a number of different ones here. One by Tim Chester, going through a passage from Philippians day by day with a lovely meditation and prayer to go with it. We've got one by Rosemary and Michael Green, great elder statesmen of the church. They taught me when I was at college, going through some Old Testament prayers. Got one by Paul David Tripp. This one includes some discussion pointers for families as well. And there's one by Tom Wright going through different New Testament passages, all to do with Advent and the coming of the Lord. So something for everyone there. Have a browse or look at the links online and think, okay, do I need something fresh to help take me through Advent and the run up to Christmas and to help point me to Jesus? The next thing to mention is how we can support our bands and our tech teams who do a fantastic job week by week in helping us to worship God together on Sunday mornings. The bands and tech teams are often in midweek for 2 or 3 hours in an evening rehearsing, and then they're in again 8 o'clock Sunday morning, setting up and sound checking, and then they go and have breakfast during the 9 o'clock service, and then they come back ready for the 10:30 service. It's a long morning for them, and quite a few of the bands and tech teams are struggling with the length of commitment and so on. And so a few things that I think we can do to make life easier for these wonderful servants. One is praying for them and encouraging them. We can do with encouragement, can't we? So do thank them for the job they do. Secondly, maybe you don't feel that you can help practically with this because you're not at all musical. Actually, we don't just need musical gifts to help the bands and tech teams. Here's 2 very practical things you could do. If you're a computer type person, then actually coming in on a Friday afternoon or morning and just helping set up the computer, that could be a very practical thing to ensure that the Sunday mornings goes more smoothly and is less stressful for them. Or if you're not a technical sort of person, but you're a kitchen sort of person, well, helping prepare breakfast for the 9 o'clock over in the parish hall for the bands and tech teams. That's quite an important time for them to come together, away from the pressures of the sound check, where they can relax, eat together, pray together. And if you'd be able to just make breakfast once a month or so, that would be hugely appreciated by the bands and tech teams. Many of you will know that we have the Basics Bank trolley in Sunday week by week. It's a great opportunity for us to give practically to some of the people who struggle most in Southampton. Southampton City Mission run the Basics Bank and they run some wonderful work in schools as well. Sadly, a couple of weeks ago, they were victims of a telephone banking scam. The fraudsters, very professional people, rang up and they knew a lot about the Southampton City Mission. They pretended to be from the City Mission Bank, and they pretended to be investigating some fraud. Actually, they were the ones doing the fraud. And they built up confidence in the volunteers and others involved in the staff, and in the end they managed to steal £30,000 from Southampton City Mission. It's so gutting that fraudsters should target anyone, let alone charities who are helping the most vulnerable people in society. There's nothing, humanly speaking, we can do to get this money back. There's no compensation schemes or insurance which cover this sort of arrangement. They're very sophisticated scammers. They know what they're doing. And they took in people who are extremely experienced and very wise financially. It just goes to show that we all need to be really aware when we have these telephone calls from people purporting to be banks. They're probably not. But what I want us to do, and what other churches around the city are doing, is to see if we can recoup these losses. £30,000 seems a lot to us. It's nothing to God. And humanly speaking, nothing can be done to recoup this money, but with God, we can. And so I'm asking us and other churches to dig deep into pockets and to see if we can recoup this £30,000. Please be generous. Southampton City Mission do wonderful work in our city. And don't just sort of give to them rather than giving to a different charity this Christmas, because we don't want other charities to lose out. Actually, if you can, dig deep and give to Southampton City Mission as well as other charities that you might give to this Christmas. They would really appreciate it, and the people they help would really appreciate it too. Thank you. And then lastly, as you know, of course, it's nearly Christmas. And each Christmas, hundreds and hundreds of people from our local community come into our church building for different events, be it beavers or nursery or schools, or for our own carol services and so on. Hundreds of people come, and yes, some of them just come to watch their little children perform, but some of them come to hear the good news of Jesus Christ, God himself come into our world. It's an incredible story. It's the best news ever, and it's our great privilege to share it, especially at Christmas time. Do please pray about who you could invite to our different Christmas services. Hopefully there's events at different times, different styles to suit everyone. It would be great to invite friends and colleagues along. Pray for them before you invite them. We've got lots of publicity which we're busy getting ready. We're joining in with the official Church of England's publicity for Christmas, which will be on social media as well. Hopefully that will help raise the profile of it. We've got these Christmas Hope magazines featuring Miranda Hart and various other TV personalities, which we're going to be giving away to some of the local households. There's lots of ways that people can help. We're going to have a sign-up sheet. We need people to help welcome and to do mince pies and mulled wine and all that sort of thing. So if you're able to help some of the events, which start quite soon, then please do let us know, sign up on the online sheet or on the boards. And above all, let's pray that God would be glorified as we worship him in Jesus this Christmas. And let's pray that people would come to faith in Jesus.